What happens when the camera captures things you weren't meant to see? What happens when eyes meet the reality of the cryptic world? Well, some things remain unexplainable and some encounters defy logic. From eerie figures lurking in the dark to creatures that shouldn't exist. These moments challenge everything we know. So stay tuned for the most unsettling encounters ever filmed. In a dark, dimly lit street of a merely populated area, a man realized he was being followed by a massive creature. It was huge and had long, spider-like legs. But it wasn't a spider. The creature moved quickly, and its legs made a clicking noise as it got closer. For a moment, the man froze in fear, unsure of what to do. But then, he snapped out of it and started running. His heart was racing as he ran through the street, trying to get away from the creature. Though the fate of the guy remained unknown, let's just hope he safely returned. Face-to-face encounter. This footage is another piece of proof of why our elders warn us not to walk alone at night. Late at night, a man was walking down a quiet road when he suddenly heard a branch snap in the woods. The sound made him stop and look around. He moved closer to a nearby streetlight and glanced at the trees. What he saw made him freeze in fear. There was a creature, its eyes glowing in the dark, and it looked completely unnatural. The man realized he was staring at a skinwalker, a creature known for shapeshifting. Without warning, the creature dropped to the ground and started crawling towards him, moving fast and aggressively. Creepy, right? Pale crawler sighting.
That's what it is.
This strange crawler was spotted in an abandoned asylum. A group of friends decided to visit the abandoned asylum, for it has been a subject for rumors for many years. People believe that there is a wild creature that inhabits the place, and it attacks whatever or whoever tries to go near it. But some people have to learn it the hard way, right? They entered the place, and the strange creature was waiting for them. It came straight towards them, and the fate of the boys remains unknown till today. Creepy stalker. A group of friends were driving when out of nowhere, a naked man appeared and began chasing their car. They turned the car around for a better look. To their shock, the strange figure kept up effortlessly, running as fast as their car. It looked like some sort of superhuman with some super speed. Well, the guys were lucky enough to leave the creepy stalker behind. But what was it? Let me know what you guys think. Dog monkey creature. This skilled cyclist was cycling through a track and was recording the peaceful ride. As he was speeding down the road, something unexpected crossed his path. Have a look at this strange creature. It looked like a dog in body, but with the face of a monkey. He was pedaling fast, so he didn't get a full look at it. But it definitely startled him. Curious and a little confused, the man quickly turned his head to get a better view of the creature. But by the time he looked again, it was already gone. He stopped and scanned the area, wondering if it was just his imagination. However, the way it appeared out of nowhere and vanished just as quickly left him feeling like what he saw was real. Upside down witch. One September night, a girl was walking home when she noticed something strange in the distance. As she got closer, her heart started racing. There, under a dim streetlight, stood a creature in a truly unsettling way. Its posture was unnatural, almost as if it was bent at odd angles, and it seemed to be frozen, just staring into the darkness. The girl stopped in her tracks, unsure of what to do. The creepy stillness of the creature gave her chills, and every instinct told her to turn back. And yes, she let her instincts win, and went back as fast as she could. Goatman on CCTV. A strange figure appeared on CCTV at the front gate of a house. It had thick, shaggy fur and large horns, resembling the mythical Goatman. At first, it stood still, unaware of being watched, but then it noticed the camera and slowly moved closer, almost inspecting it. Its face was unsettling and oddly shaped, sending chills down the spine of anyone watching. Now, it could be an actual mythical beast, or some human stalker who disguised himself as a Goatman to haunt the owner of the house. Cyclops on the road. Late one night, a woman was driving down a quiet, empty road. As she drove, her headlights suddenly revealed a strange figure standing still in the middle of the road. At first, she thought it might be Bigfoot or some large animal. The creature was massive, covered in fur, and had a single horn on its head. What made it even more frightening was its glowing eye, which stared directly at her. Curious but cautious, she pulled over and stepped out of the car to get a closer look. As she approached, the creature didn't move at first. But then, out of nowhere, it lunged at her. This made her terrified. She quickly got back in her car and drove off. Crab-like creature. In this strange incident in Pakistan, drivers were left shocked when traffic suddenly came to a halt for an unusual reason. Out of nowhere, a bizarre creature appeared, crossing the road right in front of the cars. Its body was oddly shaped, and its legs looked like those of a crab, giving it a cryptid-like appearance. The creature moved slowly between the stopped vehicles. Now that is really creepy. People were frozen in their cars, but some were able to grab their phones to record this strange moment. Dog-pig hybrid. A TikTok video posted 6 years ago shows a strange creature that a group of friends recorded while driving at night. They were driving down a road when they suddenly saw an animal in front of their car. This creature looked like a mix between a dog and a pig, which really confused them. It had a dog's body with long legs, but its face looked like a pig. The combination of these features was creepy and made it hard for them to figure out what it really was. Some people even guessed it could be a weird genetic mutation. Reptile on the road. Late at night, CCTV caught something odd walking down an empty road. It looked like a reptile, but was standing on two legs, moving like it was completely at ease. The creature was huge, and at some points it did look like the creature had a tail. Its scaly skin glowed a little in the light from the street lamps. It looked so strange, like nothing anyone had ever seen. What made it even creepier was how calm it seemed, strolling down the empty road as if it was just another regular night. Alien walks. One quiet night, a Ring camera captured something. Outside a house, a strange humanoid figure appeared on the footage on two legs. It was late at night, and the street was empty when the mysterious being came into view, casually walking along the road. The creature didn't look like anything regular. Its slim frame, unusual movements, and otherworldly appearance left people convinced it was an alien. But it didn't come with any intention to invade the house. It just strolled past the house and never returned. Late night knocks.
It's back.
We're always told not to open the door to strangers at night. This story explains why. Late one night, a YouTuber heard loud, frantic banging on his door. At first, he thought it might be a fan, but the knocking felt strange and desperate. He grew scared and decided not to open the door. Moments later, he heard heavy footsteps moving away. Curious and terrified, he checked his security camera to see what was outside. The footage was shocking. Near his garage, a strange figure appeared on the screen. Its movements were unnatural, and its body looked nothing like a human or animal. Many believe the creature resembled a skinwalker. What do you think it was?
It's back.
Monster dog. We all love our pets, right? Your pet turns into something way scarier. Well, that's exactly what happened to one homeowner when he noticed that his dog had turned into something really sinister. According to the guy, it was his pet, under the influence of some demonic entity. At first, no one could believe their eyes, but when their real dog stayed missing for several days, the homeowner gave in and accepted the unsettling truth. According to him, his pet has been howling eerily for the past week, but he never expected it to turn into this. Legendary beast. While driving through Petrolina, Brazil, a couple's car hit something on the road, so they stopped to check what it was. To their surprise, they found a creature that looked like a dog man. It had features of both a dog and something much scarier. Stranded on the road, because it was a trouble for some to spot it, the man decided to call authorities. They immediately responded and took the mysterious carcass in their custody dock. And to this day, nothing much is known about it. Highway creature. A person was driving alone on a quiet highway late at night, with nothing around except the road and the vast night sky. Out of the corner of their eye, they noticed something strange by the side of the road. At first, it looked like just a shadow, but as they got closer, they realized it wasn't. There was a creature crouching across the road barrier. The features were hard to make out, but something about it felt completely wrong, like it didn't belong there at all. If you ask me, considering the eerie movements and the bipedal figure, I'd say it was a skinwalker. Giant spider. One cold, snowy day in Canada, a strange creature appeared on the road, shocking everyone who saw it. It moved slowly and steadily, its long, spider-like legs gliding across the snow with an eerie grace. Its bright red body and head stood out against the pure white snow, making it impossible to miss. This creature was massive, much bigger than any regular spider. It looked like something from a science fiction movie, with its unnatural size and color. People who saw it believed it to be a mutated spider, as nothing like it should exist in nature. Creature in Kenya. One night in Kenya, a strange creature was seen walking down the street. It was under the dim light of a street lamp, so it was hard to see clearly. A nearby dog noticed the creature and started barking, but the creature didn't seem to care. It kept walking in a very odd way, almost like it was stumbling or unsure of its steps. Then, the creature suddenly turned around and ran off into the darkness, disappearing completely. The dog kept barking for a little while, but eventually stopped and wandered off. In this next footage, the camera shows a humanoid. The creature had a very thin body, almost like bones sticking out, and its arms and legs were super long. It moved in a strange way, like it was looking for something, or maybe even hunting. At one point, it turned its head toward the camera. Its eyes glowed brightly, almost like it knew it was being watched. It didn't seem too happy about it either. The creature walked around in circles, twisting its long limbs in odd shapes, making it really hard to figure out what it was doing or why it was acting this way. Midnight horror. One night in Chicago, at 4 a.m., a man was suddenly awakened by his dogs barking loudly and fearfully. Their barks were much louder than usual, and it was clear they were scared. Curious about what was causing the commotion, the man decided to check the security camera at his front door. There, lurking behind a wall outside his house, was a creature unlike anything he had ever seen. It had long, bony fingers with sharp, claw-like nails that seemed unnatural. But what made it even more terrifying were its glowing eyes, peeking from around the corner of the wall. It was a brief one, but the encounter was enough to scare the homeowner to his core. Fresno Nightcrawler spotted. Back in 2021, a mysterious figure was caught on camera walking through a dark forest, leaving people both surprised and curious. The footage showed something unusual that matched the description of the famous Fresno Nightcrawler. This creature is said to have long, thin legs, no visible arms or body, and moves almost like a walking pair of pants. In the video, the figure's smooth and strange movements made it look like something out of a legend. Some people thought it might be a prank or a misunderstanding, but others believed it could actually be the Fresno Nightcrawler, a cryptid that has fascinated people for years. Roadside cryptid. One quiet night, a driver was traveling on an empty road when right in the middle of the road stood a creature on all fours. Its skin was weirdly brown. The creature had glowing eyes and a muscular body, making it look both powerful and eerie. Its strange posture and appearance made the driver think of legends like the Skinwalker or the Chupacabra. For a moment, the driver sat in shock, trying to figure out if he was looking at a real creature. What do you guys think? Was it a mutated animal, a skinwalker, or actually a chupacabra? Alien at door. This footage gives us all another reason why we should never open doors to strangers late at night. One evening, a man opened his wooden door and was shocked to see what was behind the steel grill door. It was a humanoid alien monster, standing there and staring at him. The alien seemed like it wanted to attack as it reached out, trying to get closer to the man. Luckily, the metal bars of the grill door kept the alien from getting in. The man could see the alien clearly, its pale skin and strange appearance. The alien looked frustrated, pushing against the bars and trying to break through, but it couldn't. Vertical bar. The guy even called the authorities, but when they searched, there was no creature to be found. Nahual creature. In Mexico, a strange creature known as the Nahual was caught on camera, leaving people both scared and curious because of the legends. The footage shows a creature that didn't look like anything you'd see every day. Its body seemed to shift between human and animal-like features, which made it even harder to understand. It moved quietly and carefully, almost like it was aware of its surroundings. Some people thought it looked like a chupacabra because of its mysterious and sneaky nature. Locals, who know the stories of the Nahual, weren't sure if it was a shape-shifting sorcerer or just some unknown animal. Shape-shifting nightmare. Looking like a human at first, the strange figure turned into what looked like a shapeshifter. But that was not all. One after another, it kept changing shapes and baffled everyone who watched the footage. According to the experts, the video could have been easily doctored, and this may have been an elaborate prank. But the people who recorded the footage were persistent that it undoubtedly was the most clear and convincing footage of other beings existing in our world. Now, what's your take on this? Let me know. Disturbing zoo footage. In rural Romania, a traveler discovered a secret zoo with a dark past. It was rumored to be run by illegal traffickers, keeping strange creatures hidden from the public. The zoo wasn't like any normal one. It housed unusual and terrifying beings no one had ever seen before. The traveler, curious and daring, managed to sneak inside with a small camcorder. As he walked along the dark paths, he came across a cage that held a creature. It looked like a human, but was badly deformed. Its body was twisted, and its movements were jerky, almost unnatural. The creature made strange, raspy sounds that sent chills down the traveler's spine. Just when he tried to get a better shot, the authorities arrived and evacuated him from the place. Werewolf sighting. In a quiet Los Angeles neighborhood, a security camera captured something unbelievable late at night. At first, the footage showed a man casually walking down the street. Then, out of nowhere, a massive werewolf appeared, walking on two legs. Its sharp features and towering frame were visible in the dim light, making it clear this wasn't a regular animal. The creature turned around and noticed the man, who thankfully had already ran away by the time the wolf looked. Surprisingly, the werewolf didn't chase him but stared directly at the camera. And now, one thing's for sure. That person will never walk alone late at night. Floating ghost spotted. Late one night near a busy shopping mart in Dubai, something creepy was seen. People described a strange, ghost-like figure that looked like a little girl. But what was strange was that it didn't walk on the ground. It seemed to float a few inches above it. People who saw it said it moved slowly and unnaturally, like it was gliding in the air rather than walking. This spooky sight left everyone who saw it feeling uneasy. It made them wonder if it was a real ghost or something else. Let me know what you think about the creature. Midnight spirit chase. On an abandoned road in India, a man was walking home late at night when a ghostly figure appeared behind him, moving quickly as it followed him closely. Before he knew it, the figure lunged at him, knocking him to the ground. There was another guy caught in the footage who wasn't bothered by the entire encounter. Now some say that it was because of this man in white that the guy was saved. So is it true? Was the guy some kind of guardian angel? Well, I do believe so. Haunted encounter. A man had been noticing strange occurrences around his shop for quite some time. Determined to uncover the cause, he decided to install a security camera. That's when he saw it. A ghostly figure appeared on the roof of his shop. But that wasn't all. The eerie, witch-like figure then grabbed a chair, and it seemed as if it was about to do something sinister when the security guard suddenly woke up. The entire footage captured the figure engaging in unsettling activities, but without any clear purpose. Even though the man had finally discovered who was behind the bizarre happenings inside his shop, there was nothing he could do about it. And so, the witch remained, living on his rooftop forever. Creepy basement creature. Late at night, a white humanoid creature was spotted in a basement. Its pale body was incredibly thin, and its neck was unusually long. The way it moved suggested it was inspecting the area, almost as if it was searching for something. The strange, eerie appearance of this creature was enough to unsettle anyone who saw the footage. Whether you believe it or not, it's hard to ignore how creepy this encounter with a skinwalker is. Unseen force strikes. Late one evening, a group of friends were playing badminton when something strange happened. One of the friends was suddenly shoved to the ground out of nowhere. He looked around, confused, thinking someone had bumped into him, but there was no one behind him, and his friend was still playing nearby. The push felt real, strong enough to make him lose his balance, but there was no visible reason for it. It was as if some invisible force had pushed him, leaving him startled and unsure of what had just occurred. Alien-like visitor. A family was left terrified after their security camera captured something unusual outside their window. Not once, but twice. The footage showed what appeared to be an alien-like creature peeking into their room. Its pale white skin and strange features were clearly visible through the window blinds. Some people thought it might have been a prank, but others weren't so sure. A closer look at the footage revealed details too unusual to be fake. The creature looked like the classic gray alien, slim, pale, and with an otherworldly appearance. Demonic wheelchair encounter. One night, a man was taking a walk down a quiet street when he saw someone sitting in a wheelchair. At first, he thought it was just a person, but as he got closer, he realized it wasn't a normal person. It was a creepy humanoid creature sitting in a wheelchair. The creature looked strange and unsettling, and it was moving the wheelchair on its own. The man stopped, unsure of what he was seeing. Suddenly, the creature noticed him, stopped, and started rushing toward him, moving faster than expected. Now, what happened to the guy recording is quite clear, but let's just hope that everything ended well. Dinosaur on highway. We all know that dinosaurs are extinct now, but this footage might make you question that belief. A man was driving on a quiet highway when his headlights caught something unusual on the road. At first, he thought it was just a regular animal, but as he drove closer, he was shocked. What he saw looked like a small dinosaur. The creature wasn't very big, but its appearance was unmistakable. It had a long tail that swayed slightly, a reptile-like body, and a face that seemed straight out of prehistoric times. The man slowed his car, staring at the creature in disbelief. It stood completely still in the middle of the road, as if it was observing him. Could this really be a dinosaur, or was it something else entirely? Monster mouse found. Majestic size, eerie appearance. This creature in the footage isn't your ordinary mice. It's what people described as the swamp monster that got caught on camera. Locals can be seen gathered around the creatures trying to make sense of its enormous size, but no one was sure of its true identity. Now, other than the swamp monster theory, some even called it a byproduct of a failed experiment, UFO or creature. One night, a Ring camera in someone's backyard caught something really strange. At first, it looked like a bird or a small flying creature, but as it moved, it started darting around the camera in an unpredictable way, almost like it wasn't following any normal flight pattern. The object was small, but its movements were super fast, almost like it was gliding through the air. It zipped back and forth, making sharp turns and disappearing quickly. Could this be a UFO? Or maybe a creature no one has ever seen before? What do you think it was? Entity in the park. In this next video, an unexplainable entity was seen moving quickly between people, almost like it was jumping from one person to the next. Each time it made contact, those it touched seemed to undergo an odd change. They looked as if they were drained of energy, or their emotions were altered. What made this even stranger was the fact that no one could agree on what the entity actually looked like. It was hard to describe because it didn't seem to have any clear form. Some said it appeared shadowy, while others mentioned it looked blurry, like a wisp of smoke. Despite its unclear shape, one thing was certain. It had an undeniable presence that made everyone uneasy. Fireball sighted. In Toronto, back in 2014, a glowing fireball appeared at night, floating gently in the sky. A man, feeling both unsettled and curious, quickly grabbed his camera to capture the strange sight. His partner, just as intrigued, joined him to document the unusual event. The fireball's light was unlike anything they had seen before, and its movement seemed purposeful, almost as if it knew it was being watched. The family blamed it all on black magic, saying they have been observing eerie activities happening around them for quite some time. And this time, they have an answer. Giant worm surprise. A man in Italy was going about his day when he noticed something moving through a hole in the wall. He wasn't sure what it was, but it looked like it was struggling to fit through the hole, with its body and tail wiggling around. People on the internet were really surprised and confused, trying to figure out what it could be. Later, it was revealed that it was just a huge earthworm trying to squeeze through the wall. But earthworms don't get to be this big, do they? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Monster on the chase. Alright, we've all had dogs chase our cars before, right? Pretty normal stuff. But has some creepy, alien-looking monster ever gone after your ride? Well, in this video, a guy was just driving his car, minding his own business, when he suddenly noticed something in his side mirror. A freaky, monstrous creature sprinting after his car. And let me tell you, this thing wasn't happy. It was running on two legs, and its face? Man, it looked like a human skull. Super creepy. The driver couldn't tell exactly what it was, but its vibes were definitely straight out of a horror movie. CERN ritual uncovered. One night, a CERN officer was finishing his work and heading home when he saw some of the workers there wearing black capes. They were performing a ritual in front of an Indian god statue. Now this would have all made sense, only if it wasn't recorded in CERN. I mean, isn't CERN one of the most logical institutes ever? But according to the guy, it was CERN, and they were literally science guys trying to perform some sort of eerie ritual. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. A man decided to spend the afternoon exploring some old ruins. During his expedition, he suddenly saw something strange, a creepy figure that looked like a demon. He just froze there, trying to understand what he was looking at. The figure didn't come toward him or try to attack. Instead, it just stood still, staring at him from a distance. For a moment, it felt like time had stopped. The whole situation was so strange and creepy that the person couldn't believe his eyes. What do you think it was? Let me know in the comments.